Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on the Way of Wade Shadow 6. So the Shadow line was a shoe that was specifically made for outdoor use, and it's also available for an amazing price, only 120 bucks, and you get full length boom, which is kind of insane. And I love what Way of Wade's doing, and also a lot of Chinese companies in general. You know, like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, like the usual companies, they give us really crappy tech, really crappy cushion. I mean, cushion is usually the first thing they cut back on when they're trying to, reduce the price of the shoe, right? So if it's like 100, 120 bucks, the cushion usually isn't super nice, but Way of Wade is giving us full length boom, which is kind of like their best tech, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is the Sunrise colorway, and this colorway looks really nice. I especially love the gradient here on this plastic piece, right? And there's also another colorway, the Reincarnation colorway, and it's like white and blue, and the upper is actually different. It's a leather material, so obviously if you want a little bit more support, probably get that colorway. But I like mesh a little bit better. I just like a softer material. But yeah, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave in the free link in the description box, and it does help me out if you buy it through the free link in the description box. And as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. It will be on my link tree. And by the way, a lot of you guys have been asking me where my socks are from, like the socks that I've been wearing in all my videos. It's actually my brand. It's called Young Hone. We are doing a very limited drop, and it is available for pre-order right now, and it is pre-order, so it'll take a couple of weeks to actually get once you order it, so I apologize for that. But also, it's just like an athleisure sock, right? I've been wearing it for basketball as well, but I didn't specifically make it for basketball. It's not as thick for the cushion. I just want to make a really nice and comfortable sock that you can wear casually, very comfortably, as well as play basketball lightly and also work out in and stuff like that. So the website will be in the description box if you do choose to get it. And as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. But yeah, let's get it started off with the Traxione. So first of all, the outsole is pretty much decoupled, kind of. You know what I mean? Like this rubber part does extend here into the midsole a little bit. I guess it is a little bit different though, because this is rubber and this is also rubber, but it's like kind of like a different piece. You know what I mean? But either way, it's pretty much decoupled. The forefoot and heel is separate, and we can see the midfoot chain plate. It's kind of like full length though. It's like a fork shaped plate that goes all the way here into the forefoot, which we'll talk about. But yeah, we have a pretty interesting pattern. I don't know, it looks kind of like Chinese or something to me. You know what I mean? It also says shadow here at the tip of the toe. We have the Way of Wade logo where the ball of your foot is. But yeah, how does the traction feel? The traction feels really freaking nice. There's a nice loud high-pitched squeak, which of course has nothing to do with performance, but I like to have a nice squeak. And also, the bite is really good on my wood floors so far. I mean, it's just a really nice bite. And whatever rubber compound that Way of Wade usually uses on all of their shoes is really nice. So the only thing we'll have to watch out for is dust performance. We'll have to see on how much dust it picks up and how it's affected by dust, and does it bite through dust. But it seems to be doing pretty good so far. And yeah, it's winter, it's cold, so my dogs have very long hair and it's pretty dusty, and there's a lot of dog fur and stuff on my wood floors right now. So it still seems to be biting pretty well through all of that, right? Even though it seems to be picking up a little bit of dust, so it seems like it'll be pretty good, right? And also the durability seems pretty good for outdoor use. The rubber is pretty dang hard, and also they're using tough rubber on its outsole, which is supposed to be 2.5 times more durable than traditional rubber. I don't know how true of a statement that is, but that's what they say. So yeah, I mean, if you are playing on an outdoor court, you should be fine here in the Shadow 6. So there's a traction there. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, also feels very smooth, right? So here in the heel, we have a really nice rounded shape. Like look at this circular shape here in the heel, right? So that feels super duper nice. It just gives you this really nice rocking motion. Also, if you press the rubber from the bottom of the shoe, there's actually a good amount of compression, so it's not super clunky like at the bottom. There's also a nice bit of compression here from this part of the midsole as well. Even though it is really caged, it's all rubber right over here, there's still a nice bit of compression. It feels pretty soft, so it feels really smooth here in the heel. Coming here into the forefoot, same thing, really nice curved shape, as well as a good amount of forefoot flex. Look at that, right? So it feels pretty flexible, but also there is a nice bit of tension there, and we have a little bit of a spring back to it, you know what I mean? So first of all, it's just plastic, so it doesn't give you that much springiness, you know, and like rebound back like a full-length carbon fiber plate would, like in the WOW 11. However, it's still pretty nice, and also torsional support seems really good. So yeah, it's just a really smooth feeling heel to toe transition with a little bit of springiness to it. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, which is my favorite part about the shoe right now, right? So yeah, like I said, they are using full-length boom. It says full-length boom here on the medial side of the shoe. And yeah, you can also see the full-length boom here on the medial side of the shoe as well. It says full-length boom right here, as well as the foam being exposed. So yeah, if you feel the boom, like boom is one of my favorite foams that you can get right now. It's really, really lightweight, right? It doesn't add too much weight to the overall shoe, but also it's super soft and really, really bouncy, right? It has a nice bounce to it as well, and pretty resilient. It lasts a good amount of time. So yeah, I really like it. The one thing, of course, is that it's really soft. So because it's super duper soft, they can't really expose it too much, which I get all the caging, but I really like how they use like a thinner rubber. It's not a super hard type of rubber, you know what I mean? So it feels also like bouncy. Like, you know, boom is really soft. So I feel like because boom is soft, and because of the rubber caging, it probably keeps the boom inside of the shoe and gives it a little bit more like a bouncy feel, which it feels really nice so far, right? The overall core feel is pretty good. I mean, here in the forefoot, you do feel low to the ground, but here in the heel, it does get a little bit higher up off the ground. And also there is a pretty high offset, pretty normal for basketball, and like most shoes in general do that, right? It's not super flat for the offset. The insole is just a regular insole, you know, it's not super plush or anything, but underneath that is what's really nice, right? So we have a soft mesh strobe board. It is full length, right? You can see the plate here. It's bottom loaded, so here in the midfoot, you actually feel the full length boom, right? So it's really, really nice in the heel, midfoot, and forefoot for the step-in comfort and underfoot cushion. And also if you press it with your fingers, really, really soft. So that's one thing that I love that Way of Wade does usually in most of their shoes, is give us a soft mesh strobe board, which does improve the step-in comfort, right? So you can feel the boom underneath your foot, and you can feel your heel and forefoot digging into that boom. But also because of I'm guessing, well, I mean, first of all, boom is bouncy, right? But also I'm guessing because of the caging, it gives it a nice little bouncy feel to it as well, which I really like right now. So yeah, the cushioning setup's extremely nice, especially only for $120, which that's insane, you know? So yeah, I'm surprised he didn't give us like 75% boom or cloud plus or something like that for only 120 bucks. So yeah, there's the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper. So like I said, in different colorways, they are giving us different materials, right? So here in this one, the Sunrise, we have a like a fabric mesh type of material, right? So it's not the most supportive feeling material because it's super duper soft. However, it doesn't stretch too much. So it does feel overall supportive in that way. However, look, it's a really soft material, you know what I mean? So we'll have to see on how the overall support is in this shoe. For example, I am playing in the Tatum 3, and the Tatum 3 is just a really soft upper, and I don't feel supported at all in that shoe while I'm playing it, you know? So we'll have to see on how the Shadow 6 feels when I play in it, but right now it doesn't feel super supportive, right? The ventilation is really good though. We have a lot of airflow through the toe box, and also here in the middle of the shoe as well, and also through the bottom of the tongue. It's a very open mesh here as well. So yeah, it feels really comfortable on foot because it's thin, it's minimal, it conforms to your foot extremely well too. There's also a bit of fuse going around the tip of the toe and also going around the eyelets as well. And also for the eyelets, it is a reflective material as well as here in the back of the heel, which is pretty cool. But again, if you want a little bit more support from the upper, probably get the leather material shoe, right? Also for the tongue, we have like an average amount of padding, but the design that's on the tongue is really cool. You can see the stitching here, and then here in the ankle area, we have an average amount of padding like on the sides as well as here in the back of the heel. But yeah, also obviously we have this crazy X in the heel as well, which is supposed to be the logo. And I love how it all combines together, you know, with this plastic piece. This also goes all the way here into the lining as well, which is pretty cool, as well as the bottom piece going all the way here into the heel with this plastic. So I really like the overall design of the shoe. The upper feels pretty nice. It's not the greatest for quality, I would say, but for 120 bucks, and since they are giving us full length boom, it's not a huge deal. And like I said, it does feel nice on foot. We'll just have to see on how supportive the upper is. And now moving on to the fit. So the fit is pretty dang nice, but a little short. So I would suggest going up half a size if you don't like that, right? If you go true to size, it'll be a little snug lengthwise, so just be careful with that. Of course, if you do like that, then maybe go true to size, but just be careful, you know what I mean? Here in the toe box, it's weird, right? So it's a nice snug fit for me here in the toe box, but then because of this like really soft fabric mesh material, it kind of has this like stretchiness to it a little bit, you know, it has a little bit more forgiveness to it. So I can curl my toes up a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's nice and snug when my foot's like laying flat, but then I can also curl my toes up a little bit, which is a pretty interesting feeling, you know what I mean? So I wish they would have made it a little bit more like not as forgiving here, you know what I mean? But it's not terrible. It's just if you want a lot of support, especially in the toe box, this material definitely isn't the best, you know? Also width-wise, it's around normal width, maybe slightly narrow, but it's more normal. It's not squeezing the side of my foot. It's a really nice fit for me overall. Going true to size, which is just a tiny bit short, which I don't mind too much. So there is the fit there. Moving on to the support and lockdown, so that is something that I am a little bit worried about, right? So here in the forefoot, I don't know, like this upper just doesn't seem super supportive to me, right? We have this fused material, but it doesn't make the overall material super stiff, and there's really no like lateral counter here in the forefoot, you know what I mean? I guess like this plastic piece comes up a little bit. But yeah, here in the heel, obviously you're covered. You have this plastic with the X as well as an internal TPU heel counter. But also, not only like am I worried about the forefoot lateral containment, maybe like my foot's gonna come out of the footbed just a tiny bit, but also look at this. It's just a really soft material. You know what I mean? Like for example, like in the Dawn Issue 6, you have the plastic going around the eyelets, which gives it a nice rigidness to it, nice structure. But the Shadow 6 doesn't really do that. I mean, I guess we have the laces here. It says Wade, you know, with this kind of like metal thing. But then, you know, it doesn't really add any structure, you know? And then it's just, you know, a wire for the eyelets as well as a little bit of fuse. But again, it doesn't make it too stiff. So we'll have to see on how supportive the overall upper is. And as far as the lateral stability goes, we do have the rubber and the outsole kind of like pointing out a little bit here in the forefoot, giving us a wider base. So lateral stability feels good, and I'm not really experiencing any type of heel slippage or anything like that right now. It's just the upper is not super supportive feeling, right? And now moving on to the weight of the shoe. I mean, it shoe feels pretty light. I'm guessing like 11-12 ounces. Yeah, 11.35 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 11.3 ounces. So that's more than an ounce lighter than average, right? The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So yeah, it feels really minimal, especially the upper. The upper feels really thin, very minimal. And then the cushion feels really nice too. It feels a little bit high up off the ground here in the heel, but overall it feels really nice on foot. I really like how it feels. It's just not the most supportive feeling shoe right now. And moving on to the aesthetics, I really like it, right? This, especially this colorway, I really think this X, it's the Wave Wade logo, is very creative as well, combining that with like the overall design and making it functional too. But yeah, also the gradient, like I said, looks great. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, for 120 bucks, this shoe is feeling really, really nice so far. And the only thing, like I keep saying, that I'm worried about is the support, right? So two things about it is, you know, of course, the overall structure of the upper as well as the lateral containment here in the forefoot. I don't think it's gonna be terrible right now though, from my first impressions, but we'll have to see on how it holds up, right? But again, if you want the more supportive upper, probably go with the leather material and you'll be fine, right? So anyways, that about concludes my first impressions look on the Wade Shadow 6. Again, if you guys do want to cop, try to leave the affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.